was born to be making history, something greater, something higher. Ain't nothing gonna stop this fire. It's plain reality. I was born to be something greater, something higher. Ain't nothing gonna stop this fire. I was born to be making history, something greater, something higher. Ain't nothing gonna stop this fire.
Today, we will be introducing another new tool we will be placing into service here at Watertown Fire Rescue, the S&D Rex. The S&D Rex is a lock pulling device that will be placed into service on both engine 3 and engine 4 in a side compartment with a set of key tools placed over the handle as such. The key tools are a set of tools that will assist you in manipulating the locking mechanism of various styles and brands of locks. In it, you have a standard key tool, a 6-in-1 screwdriver, a standard needle nose pliers, as well as a miniature bolt cutter that will be used to cut the bolts of more formidable styles of deadbolts. The S&D Rex itself is a 17-inch bar with two different heads. On one end, you have the truckman head, which is a thinner head with a smaller notch. This will be used to pull primarily deadbolts as well as the beauty ring on key and knob style locks. On the other end is a thicker head with a larger ramp and a larger cutout. This will be used to primarily pull rim locks, mortise locks, as well as the handle off key and knob style locks. The S&D Rex should be paired with a small hammer for single person operations, or can be used with a larger striking device such as a flathead axe for two-person operations. Throughout the rest of this video, we will be discussing and demonstrating the various styles of locks you can pull, as well as demonstrating the manipulation of those locks. To train with the S&D Rex, we will utilize our lock board here that simulates pulling the cylinder from both rim and mortise locks, as well as pulling the handle off of a key and knob style lock and pulling a deadbolt cylinder. To pull a rim or mortise lock, use the Rex tool end. Place the tool so the ramp is flush with the door over the cylinder. Use a striking tool to tap the tool down until it has a solid bite of the lock cylinder. Then pry the tool until the cylinder pops out. To manipulate the lock, use a standard key tool. Place the short end of the key tool inside of the cylinder way. In a Adams right or swinging deadbolt style lock, you will use the key tool to compress the pin and slide it until the swinging deadbolt is in the unlocked position. The other styles of locks shown have a more simple locking mechanism. Ultimately, all styles of mortise locks are operated in the same basic way. To reset the prop, grab a 3-inch number 6 machine screw. Place a small washer on it, then a large washer. Then place the wooden dowel on the screw. You then put the screw into the hole in the board with the dowel going into the recess. You then place a washer and a wing nut on the back side and tighten. To pull a deadbolt, use the Truckman tool head. Place the blade at the edge of the deadbolt and use a striking tool to tap it behind the lock. Once behind the lock, use a side-to-side prying motion to pop the lock free. If you come across a more formidable lock, create a gap large enough to get the many bolt cutters behind the lock and use them to cut the machine screws. Once the lock face is off, look inside of the lockway and decide on the appropriate tool to use to manipulate the lock. Common sense will have to be used here as there are several possibilities of mechanism configurations. To reset this prop, use two 3-inch number 6 machine screws. Place a washer on each screw, then place the screws in the opposite holes in the deadbolt dummy. Then place the deadbolt dummy in the hole in the board. Then place the back plate on the screws, then secure the back plate with the wing nuts. To pull a key and knob style lock, place the Rex tool end over the handle. You may need to tap it into place with a striking tool. Then pry the handle in a side-to-side motion until the handle pops off. You then look inside the hole and decide which key tool is most appropriate to manipulate the lock. There will be several styles of locks inside the maintenance room at Station 1 to experiment with. If you would like to further your education in through the lock style forcible entry, I recommend looking up Coastal Fire Training, Rise Above Fire Training, or Prepare for Fire Training on Facebook and YouTube. The S&D Rex and key tool set will be in the L3 compartment as shown on both engine 3 and 4.